Come on.
Show yourself!
Several people start receiving voicemails from their future selves, messages which include the date, time, and some of the details of their deaths. The movie opens up showing us individuals getting a call. When individuals get the telephone, they get a voice message in which they have their own voice. Furthermore, this call isn't of right now, however represents things to come time, in which 1 day, 2 days, 3 days is incorporated. Then, at that point, when that opportunity arrives, that individual bites the dust. So it begins with showing a consumed emergency clinic, where firemen were quenching fire. What's more, they needed to save a kid's life. Furthermore, a lady began asking the youngster, "Was your mother additionally inside?" Yet, the youngster doesn't reply. Next we see a young lady, Shani, who was sitting close to her home's little lake. Out of nowhere, she began hearing a voice from the water. When she went close and saw, a hand emerges from the water and snatches her face. Welcome to the review recapped. Have a blessed day and sub for a bit of good luck. What's more, maneuvers her into a similar lake. After which a crab emerges from the water, which kids eat. And afterward that hand snatches Shani's feline from the road, jumps into the water and kills. The story presently went for it. We see a few understudies who were celebrating. There was a young lady in the party, Beth. Her companion came to meet her. The two of them go into the room. Furthermore, begin discussing Shani's passing, since this multitude of understudies were companions. During their discussion, Beth's companion got an approacher versatile. Yet, shockingly, this call was coming from Shani's number. Furthermore, the ringtone of these calls was likewise unique, which was a truck. When she gets the call, there was a voice message. After hearing this, Beth's companion had her own voice, in which she was shouting. She sees nothing. That what is this? She was amazed and stressed. Presently a criminal investigator is called to the police headquarters to distinguish a cadaver, which was the body of the investigator's sister, from whose mouth a treats emerges. Presently what to note here is that a candy emerged from Shani's mouth while passing on, which implied that these passings should have some association. So recollect this. Following 2 days, we see Beth and her companion in school. At the point when she was in the class, Beth's companion began fantasizing. That is, such considerations, such things were being composed, which were not even genuine. As though she saw a scorpion on Beth's hand. After the class is finished, Beth requests that she have espresso. Yet, she won't go with her and comes to the library. After the library is shut, Beth's companion, at the point when she was returning home. Then she additionally begins daydreaming, wherever she was seeing a ton of underhanded spirits, from which she was exceptionally terrified. Since obviously everybody was exceptionally terrifying. In dread, she calls Beth. According to she, "You can definitely relax, I'm with you. I will arrive at shortly." Be that as it may, she was so frightened that her condition started to weaken. Dreading, she tumbled from a high spot. She had a mishap by colliding with a train. She was harmed to such an extent that she kicked the bucket right away. In the interim, Beth likewise arrived at here. What's more, seeing this episode, she likewise heard a weird sort of voice. At the point when she showed up at her companion's dormant body. Then a treats emerges from her mouth. Beth really takes a look at her telephone, in which the contact number was going all over. It seemed like somebody was attempting to get another number. After this, 2 young ladies in school were discussing this occurrence. That Beth's companion additionally passed on. Her and Shani's passing occurred similarly, in view of a call. Subsequent to hearing this, Beth's male companion began blowing up at her. "Stop this gibberish. There is nothing similar to that. Everything were phony. It's hogwash." Beth additionally came here. According to she, "No, this is on the right track. It's very much like that." Furthermore, her passing happened in view of a call. Right away, Beth's male companion likewise began fantasizing. What's more, she was likewise seeing scorpions. She felt somewhat unusual. That is the reason he leaves from that point. Beth likewise followed him. Then, at that point, her male companion began telling that I likewise have such a call. What's more, The time on it is inevitably. Right away, her companion likewise saw a demon there. He got exceptionally terrified. He begins leaving from that point. Beth calls him. Since he was leaving his portable there. At the point when he returned to take the portable. Then, at that point, he was saying something. Which was in that voice message. Right away, there was a blast here. A bar comes and his fire goes through. Because of which he likewise kicks the bucket. Here as well, Beth heard an unusual voice. Right away, her companion additionally said something. Taking a gander at the entire circumstance, Beth meets a woman cop. Furthermore, she was telling that my two companions passed on abruptly. Prior to passing on, she got a call. I think her demise has something to do with that call. Subsequent to kicking the bucket, she likewise got a canis in her mouth. The cop was paying attention to her cautiously. Yet, she doesn't accept. Yet, everything of hers, the criminal investigator hears. Whom we found first and foremost. Whom was called to the mortuary. He lets Beth know that a couple of days prior, my sister likewise passed on similarly. Shelley, whose demise was expected to suffocating in the lake. She and my sister were medical caretakers in an emergency clinic. In the first place, my sister passed on. Then following 2 days, Shelley's. My sister's mouth likewise had a red sweets. That is the reason I likewise accept that these calls, confections and these passings have something to do with it. He then, at that point, gives his portable number to Beth and says that assuming you want any assistance, reach me. I will likewise let you know the subtleties of the calls of this large number of dead individuals. At the point when Beth returns home, she sees that her flatmate Annie, who was residing with her in this house. She was extremely terrified. She lets Beth know that my number was additionally in our male companion's versatile. I will get the following call. Be that as it may, I would rather not pass on. To loosen up her, Beth takes out her and her portable's batteries. Also, says that look, I took out the batteries. Presently unwind, we will not get any call. However, around evening time, when these two young ladies were dozing, there is a ringtone. Furthermore, this ringtone was likewise ringing. Which was coming on Beth's flatmate's versatile. In spite of the fact that her versatile didn't have a battery. Yet a similar call was coming. This call was additionally 2 days after the fact. Which made the flatmate hack. Since the voice message had the voice of the flatmate's shout. The night passed this way. However, when it was morning, these young ladies broke her portable. Then, at that point, a man came to meet the flatmate. Who was the proprietor of a live network program. He figured out that the following call had come to the flatmate. That is the reason he needed to carry him to his television program. So whatever is occurring with the flatmate at the hour of his demise. He could show this live of the program. What's more, when he saved the flatmate's life, everybody saw this thing. In any case, Beth restricts him to do this. What's more, returns home with the flatmate. The flatmate needed to say that we ought to pay attention to that man. Who knows, he could help us. Yet at the same time Beth declined him. The following morning the flatmate was not there. She had gone. On the way, she left a note for Beth. That I am going to my mother and father. Then the analyst comes to Beth and tells. That I have taken out all the call records. From which I have come to know that each withering individual. The person who passed on before him had called. Like my sister to Shelley. Shelley then to your companion. Whose passing was because of a train mishap. She then to your male companion. Astonishingly, every one of the calls. They were discussing their demise. From their number. He then, at that point, tells that a lady had called my sister. Who was debilitated. Furthermore, presently I'm going to her home. To figure out reality. On which Beth likewise goes with him. In the wake of arriving at that lady's home. The analyst begins looking. There he finds a video CD recorded with a little camera. This camera is utilized to watch out for youngsters. In the video, this wiped out lady had 2 girls. In which the oldest little girl's name was Annie. However, even in the wake of looking. The criminal investigator doesn't discover that little camera here. Like the video was made. There he tracks down an inhaler. A similar inhaler utilized by breathing patients. It resembled a siphon. From which when the analyst presses. A voice came from it. In the wake of hearing the voice. Beth gets exceptionally frightened. She tells the investigator that when my companion. Also, the demise of the male companion. Then I heard a similar voice there. However, from where the voice was coming. There was nobody there. After further looking. The investigator found out. That the demise of that wiped out lady's oldest little girl Annie. Was because of a coronary failure. That is, she had a breathing issue. What's more, this inhaler was hers. alongside her more youthful sister. Her mom had taken her to the clinic multiple times. Since her more youthful girl was harmed another way. Like now and again her water goes. Once in a while the needle plays on repeat in her mind. Once in a while somebody takes a cleanser. Subsequent to knowing this, Beth tells the analyst that I have grasped everything. As a matter of fact, that wiped out lady had some psychological sickness, as a result of which she used to harm her own kids. Then she used to get them treated in the clinic. She used to fare thee well. So those youngsters couldn't take more consideration. Here she additionally found out that in the medical clinic, the therapy of the little girls of that wiped out lady, they're a medical caretaker, additionally asked from that lady that her senior little girl had a breathing issue for quite a while. What's more, for what reason does the more youthful girl get harmed over and over? Here I tell you that she was the inquisitive medical caretaker. Furthermore, no other person. In any case, the sister of the analyst, whose passing was the most incredibly agonizing. Presently on television, Beth sees her flatmate in that live show, where the proprietor of the television program will show all that will happen to him live. Seeing which these two immediately leave for that congregation where this show planned to occur. In the meantime, the flatmate calls Beth and apologizes. That excuse me, I didn't pay attention to you. What's more, I came to the show. It is displayed in the show that the flatmate too started to have fantasies. A similar demon started to show up around him. As Beth and the criminal investigator came here, the lights switch off all alone. After which some malevolent power comes and goes after the flatmate. She kills him by halting his breath. The light returned. Beth sees her flatmate dead. Candy emerges from her mouth as well. Then Beth gets a call from her flatmate, in which yesterday night, it was 7:55. On getting the call, in the voice message, Beth's voice, in which she was shouting, and that implies the following number to bite the dust, was Beth's. That is the reason the investigator, to safeguard her, with her, he remains at his home. At the point when the following morning occurred, both were extremely stressed. Since they just had evening 7 o'clock, it was the ideal opportunity for 55 minutes to save Beth. The analyst then, at that point, that patient lady's girl, that is, Annie's more youthful sister, got to be aware, which is presently in a shelter, such a spot where those kids are kept. Who's in this world? There is nobody going there. Got to be aware that this young lady, there is no other person. The young lady toward the start, truth be told, which fireman who saved her from the emergency clinic. These two get some information about her mom. In any case, similar to the start, she doesn't reply. At the point when the fireman inquired that your mom was in the clinic. However, at that point, from the hair of the young lady, a truck began coming. What's more, this truck was something similar, which used to ringtone. In any case, disregarding this, Beth and the investigator emerged. He chooses that we will go independently. Annie's mom will gather data about the patient lady. In any case, as Beth begun going from that point, her eyes went to Annie's sister's window, behind whom a phantom was standing. After which, Beth chooses to go to that emergency clinic, where Annie, furthermore, her more youthful sister, was dealt with. About this, she was likewise telling the investigator that going to that emergency clinic. She attempts to head inside. Be that as it may, the front entryway was locked. So, she endeavored to exit through the indirect access. In any case, this entryway was additionally locked. However, at that point, it opens all alone. Coming inside the emergency clinic, Beth begun searching for pieces of information. However, at that point, some abhorrent power, in obscurity, Beth assaults. What's more, pulling. She began taking her with her. Along these lines, she was extremely terrified. She shouts boisterously when she saved her life. What's more, took off from that point. Beth gets the investigator here. These two attempt to leave. In any case, can't get out, since every one of the entryways were locked. Then, at that point, when she came into the room, some insidious power presently goes after the criminal investigator. She gets him in the air. Also, tosses him out of the room. Because of which, the investigator was so stung that he blacked out. The entryway of the room is likewise locked. Beth. Here. A little ventilation way is noticeable, in which she quickly went to leave. At the point when she was on that way. Then, at that point, on her versatile. Continually. A call was coming. Then, at that point. Beth. Here. A consumed cadaver. Whose condition was extremely terrible. She had a versatile in her grasp. Through which Beth's telephone was getting a call. Beth. Right away. Grabs the telephone from her. Furthermore, breaks it. Subsequently. The cadaver likewise blew up. Seeing this. Beth. Begun taking off from that point. Behind her. The cadaver additionally took off. Coming close. She comes on top of Beth. She was extremely frightened. She tells the body. If it's not too much trouble. Try not to hurt me. Implies. Try not to hurt me. Beth. Over and again. Was rehashing this line. That please. Try not to hurt me. Because of which. The body too. Does nothing to Beth. All things considered. She says. Excuse me. Implies. Excuse me. Then, at that point. Here. The investigator additionally came. That's what he sees. It's 7:55 p.m. Yet. Beth didn't kick the bucket. She made do. The following second. Every one of those cops came to save her life. Beth tells the analyst that I was brought here. Not on the grounds that to be killed. Be that as it may. Since to save my life. That consumed cadaver didn't save my life. The analyst goes to the halfway house to meet Ellie's sister. However, she was sleeping. The criminal investigator there gets the kid's hair. Also, he found out that it's a little camera. In reality, it's hair. Implies it's a camera. However, it has the state of hair, which watches out for the kid. From that, the criminal investigator begun watching the video. Also, he found out that it's not the kid's mom. Be that as it may. Her senior sister, Ellie, used to torment her. Used to hurt her. Consistently. Another way. She used to hurt her sister. By doing this, she used to partake in a great deal. In any case, at some point, her mom saw that Ellie was cutting her more youthful sister's hand. Ellie, on this demonstration, her mom lashed out. She secured her there. What's more, took her to the medical clinic. In the meantime, Ellie got a coronary episode. She began calling her mom. In any case, in the meantime, she kicked the bucket with the investigator. This video, Ellie's more youthful sister, implies the youngster was additionally watching. He asks the youngster that your sister used to torment you about this. For what reason didn't you tell your mom? The youngster said, subsequent to harming me, my sister used to give me a treats. That is the reason I concealed this from my mom. And afterward Beth, at the point when she was distant from everyone else at home, she had Ellie's spirit, which Beth couldn't see. Then, at that point, the criminal investigator came here. He tells Beth everything, which he found in the video. Also, says that you were correct. Ellie's spirit is killing everybody. Furthermore, her mom saved your life, which was a consumed cadaver. The entryway of their discussion got opened. The analyst begins glancing through the opening in the entryway, despite the fact that Beth likewise won't do as such. Yet, he disagrees. The following second, a blade emerges from that opening. The analyst, moreover, gets at him. He got into his psyche by tearing his head. And afterward the entryway opens. Ellie's spirit comes in to kill Beth, who had now become totally shrewd. However, by and by, then Ellie's mother comes here. Also, saves Beth's life. The criminal investigator's condition was so terrible that his significant other additionally passes on. A treats emerges from his mouth. His telephone number begins dialing naturally for the following casualty. Presently here, I'll give you an outline of this film. Also, that Ellie was shrewd. In reality, since adolescence, she had fiendish deeds Like, in the wake of harming her sister, she gave her treats. Be that as it may, when she kicked the bucket, she became a total fiendishness. And afterward, in the wake of killing individuals, she gave them candy. That is the reason. From everybody's mouth, candy emerged. What's more, the way she passed on, while calling her mother, comparatively, in the wake of killing individuals. From her number, she used to call the following casualty. Also, with this story closes here. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.